Washington, as I said, it's a train wreck. Dallas, you don't know what's going on there. And in New York, you don't know. Okay? So really, when you look at it, the Eagles, are you in a sense of urgency to make a dramatic move at the end of the year at your quarterback spot? Maybe not. Maybe you do have 2 years of leeway to figure this out. Would that be fair? If you win the division, like you guys are saying and like I'm saying, you win the division, you win a playoff game, you get to the NFC Championship game, or even into a divisional round, you win 12 ball games, you see improvement at the quarterback, why wouldn't you bring them back? What's that cooking, baby? 5 days to training camp. Can you smell it? Victory. Yeah. Victory, right? 5 days to the start of training camp. How you doing, man? Welcome aboard, everybody. Another big show for you lined up. Right out of the gate, Hollis Thomas. Bottom of this hour, 3:30. We'll talk Philadelphia Eagles football with the legendary defensive tackle, get his spin on all things Eagles and some NFL conversation. That'll be at the bottom of the hour. You guys all come aboard with us. Thank you so much. The way you do. Daz, we will not be starting with Sixers talk, Phillies talk. All Eagles and NFL, baby. You got it. That's what stirs the drink of sports today, man. I say baseball and basketball and hockey and some of these other sports, they're putty in the gaps. That's what they are now, because nobody knows how to market the NFL better than the NFL, and nobody knows how to market football better than the NFL. They're masters at it. Front page, second page, third page. Hell, I barely know the teams that are in the Major League Baseball races now. But I do know what teams are showing up to training camp. I mean, the NFL season this year, the great thing about the NFL also is this. You know, we start an NBA season out. We do this. There's 4 teams, maybe, that could potentially win an NBA championship, right? In the NFL, we do this. Who can win it? Somebody could be like the Rams years ago and come from nowhere and win it. And win the whole damn thing. Eagles, 17. Nobody saw that coming. Not anybody saw that coming with that mass unit that went on to win that Super Bowl with a substitute teacher in Nick Foles. Nobody saw that. That's the beautiful thing about the journey we're about to go on in the NFL. Look, we got summer almost over. 60% of summer's over right now. Okay. And by the way, blue shell crabs, do I miss them on the East Coast? Going to the Jersey Shore. Man, I miss all that. Winter's right around the corner of the fall. We start playing ball here in a couple weeks in exhibition football. We start to get a sense of what these teams are going to really look like. This is really going to be an iconic year for the NFL, in my opinion. By the way, like I've been telling you guys, and we've been going over the Eagles schedule. Today, we're going to do Cowboys. That'll be week 6. So we're on our 6th game of the year. That's Dallas Cowboys before you go into the bye. So we're going to get into that here in a minute. I want to start something out here with you guys, though. And Kyler Murray, it's a big deal. I really do think it's a big deal, especially for the folks in Baltimore. Maybe even for the folks in Philadelphia. On what you do with Jalen Hurts after the end of the year. But let me throw this at you here on where the Philadelphia Eagles are as an organization. You know, I got to tell you this. Show me this here and tell me this. Do you agree of all the organizations in the NFC East, the most stable are the Eagles? Are they in really any hurry to make a decision at the quarterback spot, more so than anyone else. By the way, I think the future of the Eagles, the quarterback position, I think it goes around the Cowboys. I'm going to explain here in a minute. But look at the Giants. Brand new general manager, brand new head coach, and Brian Daboll. You got to figure out what the quarterback thing's going to be. Are you going to go after Jimmy Garoppolo? That's some reports. Washington, you have no idea how they're going to react. Carson Wentz is as much as an outlier on what he'll do this year, on whether or not Daniel Snyder owns the team by the end of the year. You got so many things going on in Washington. It is an upside-down organization. There's so much chaos in that organization. How do you win like that? Ron Rivera would be the coach of the year if he wins the division, with all the stuff going around that team, with the owner, front office, the lawsuits, all that stuff, man. Craziness that goes on in Washington and has really for a decade. Wouldn't you agree, though? Are the Eagles, are they really in a sense of urgency with the quarterback position? I mean, the division is upside down. Outside of, and hey, let's go to Dallas here for a second before we preview them. Salary cap hell. Your contract with Zeke Elliott, I mean, the money you gave him, that $90 million, is like an anchor around your neck. You had to jettison Amari Cooper and send him for nobodies to come back to your team, what, 5th and a 6th? And you gave up a 1 for the Raiders for him? I mean, the Dallas Cowboys are in money crunch situations right now when it comes to their salary cap and their roster. Every single team in that division has an issue. The Eagles really don't. Watch this. We're debating whether or not the quarterback's good or not. Okay? In Dallas, you have no money to bring in even anybody like Von Miller or anybody that you needed in the offseason to maybe replace a Randy Gregory. You couldn't do anything. Bobby Wagner, you were never going to be able to afford him. Washington, as I said, it's a train wreck. Dallas, you don't know what's going on there. And in New York, you don't know. Okay? So really, when you look at it, the Eagles, are you in a sense of urgency to make a dramatic move at the end of the year at your quarterback spot? Maybe not. Maybe you do have 2 years of leeway to figure this out. Would that be fair? If you win the division, like you guys are saying and like I'm saying, you win the division, you win a playoff game, you get to the NFC Championship game or even into a divisional round, you win 12 ball games, you see improvement at the quarterback, why wouldn't you bring him back? Again, it's not because I think he's a great player, but I would say this. Are you under any real pressure to make a move there right now? Are you? Are you under any pressure? I think we got to wait and see how this plays out, and especially in Dallas. And I'm going to get to why Dallas is important in this whole conversation here. Now, Jeremiah makes a great point. Silz, the draft class. Jones says, Silz, no, they're not. We must win the division. Jerry's World needs to be given a stipend to sign those players. I'm with you, man. Okay? Hurt's going to want a Kyler Murray bag of money. He'll never get that. Dan, you know deep down you are not bought in on Jalen Hurts, much less the Eagles. I'm completely bought in 1,000% on the Eagles. I'm not bought in 100% on Jalen Hurts. So, Alan, you're half right. Alan, you'll learn one lesson with me. I don't lie because I'm not good at it. You don't – if you have a question about where I stand on something, just ask me and I'll tell you. I don't have Okay, I'm not smart enough as a sports talk guy to sit here and try to bullshit you. I'm not smart enough to do that. That's not what I do and who I am. Okay? What are you talking about, Silz? Beansy, what I'm talking about is I don't really know if the Eagles are under really that much pressure to figure out whether or not this is the final season for Jalen Hurts or not, especially if there's improvement. Okay? But would you not agree with this? Here's what I'm going to say about this coming season, because Dallas is truly the gold standard in the NFC East right now, defending champions. I'm going to get to them here in a minute, 2022 Dallas Cowboys. Does Jalen have to outplay Dak Prescott to keep his job moving forward? Dak's the best quarterback in the division as of now or maybe Jimmy Garoppolo gets into New York or takes that Giants job, what have you. They're talking about that's probably the number one landing spot for him will be the Giants. Okay? Do you think he has to outplay Dak? If you can't beat Dallas and he can't beat Dallas, he's not the guy. You have to beat that. You have to split with Dallas at least. That's the minimum. Because then you're competitive. 2 years you haven't been competitive against the Cowboys. Okay? 2 years. Listen, they win 10, 11 games. They split with the Cowboys. They're right there neck and neck with Dallas. He's improved. You're going to bring him back. You're going to bring him back unless something dramatically happens in next April's draft. That's my opinion. You got to outplay Dallas. You've got to be better than Dallas in 2022. Let's do that first, okay? Don't worry about winning divisions. Don't worry about winning NFC conference championships. Beat Dallas. If you beat Dallas, everything else falls in place. If Jalen outplays Dak, it falls in place. If he doesn't, then we got a problem. You know, and the reason I'm starting the show off with this is how many times did we see some of the best pass rushers in the AFC East? You know what they were trying to do? Slow Brady down. Everybody was trying to slow Brady down. If you played in the AFC, you had to have great pass rushers if you were going to take on the Patriots. You had to. Because you had this. You may not have a quarterback that can compete with them, but you got to get pass rushers in there. And you got to slow that guy down. That's the one thing that you love what Howie Roseman did with this Philadelphia Eagle process and putting all those new players on the defensive side of the football. What did he do? Pass rushers, corners. This is to defend Dak. You got to beat Dallas. Dallas has to be the priority. It's almost like a college football rival or like Army-Navy. Hey, man, you can win 8 ball games. You get in the Army-Navy game, your season goes to hell if you lose that game. You know that. How about, and Xander knows this one, the Alabama game. You could be undefeated, lose the Auburn game. You want to hear something? If I'm Alabama, I'd rather lose a Southeastern Conference championship game than the Auburn game. Okay? I'd rather lose that game because I'm still going to be in the mix for a national title. What I don't want to do is lose Auburn. Dude, I never wanted to lose to Florida or Florida State. I didn't care who we played. Can't get beat by those guys. You just can't get beat by those guys. And that, to me, is exactly what goes on in Philly. You can't get beat by the Cowboys. And most notably, you can't be beat up by the Cowboys. Last year, the Cowboys beat up the Eagles. Never in it. Never in it. Am I right when I say that? If Jalen shows that he is compatible with Dak, you got yourself a guy who win a game with Dak Prescott That's going to make the front office in Philadelphia at the NovaCare Center stand up and go, we need to reevaluate this. Now, do I think he's in the same conversation as Dak on July the 21st? I do not. He's not as accurate as him, nor does he have the passing arm as Dak. However, and plus Dak's put up 4,000 passing yard seasons, albeit with better talent. It's a fair comment. But you got to beat Dallas. That being said, 2022 Dallas Cowboys. Don't forget Hollis Thomas at the bottom of the hour here, too. Gannon has to stop Dallas. Got to slow him down. Okay? They only beat crap teams. They did last year, but let's see if that changes. Got tore up front. They sure did. You're going to see Hurts lose games in the fourth quarter. Yeah, but that's when that football team with A.J. Brown and the running attack should be taking over, is in the fourth quarter. When you got a top running game, how are you getting beat if you have a lead? If you have a lead with that O-line and that running attack and with an improved defense, you should not be losing fourth quarters if you're Philadelphia this year. You should not be losing. You have upgraded at every position on defense. I told you this. This is one of the reasons I'm high on the team. It's not so much the offensive side. Gannon is the person who has to stop Dallas. He's got to put the players in the right position. Okay? No question about it. Let me get into the Cowboys here. You have to beat this team. There is nobody else on this schedule that matters. Nothing. Minnesota, Lions, Steelers, Washington, Packers, Colts. This team, you've got to beat the Cowboys. You've got to beat this team. Because it's emotional. You see how much your roster's improved. They will be your nemesis because Jerry spends money and Jeffrey Lurie really doesn't a lot of the times. Got to beat this team. Defending NFC East champions, 12-5 last year. They end up losing to the 49ers in the wild card round last year. And again, 27 years, they have not made it back to a conference championship game, the Dallas Cowboys. That Ezekiel Elliott contract of 6 years, $90 million hangs around that franchise's neck like an anchor, like I said. I mean, even more so than what Dak's deal is. It just hangs around that team's neck. They're squeezed against the salary cap at the end of every single regular season. They've got to make tough cuts, and they had to make some tough decisions this past offseason. There's no doubt. I mean, they were able to get out from under the Amari Cooper deal, which was 5 years, $100 million, but they surrendered a first-round draft choice for the guy. Did he help improve Dak? Absolutely. Development was there because of Amari Cooper. I completely agree. But they end up turning around, getting a 5th and 6th for it. The only thing you basically did there was a salary dump. You basically wanted to let loose by saving some face with a 5th and a 6th in 2022 for a guy you gave up a first-round draft choice for, and you were paying $20 million. What a bad move. The Dallas Cowboys got taken to the cleaners here. So you're telling me the Cleveland Browns pick up a top-flight wide receiver for a 5th and a 6th. Are you kidding me? You're right. 5th and a 6th, and all I had to do was pick up some of his money. Dude, the Browns got over. The Cowboys got taken to the cleaners here. And you're telling me the return in asset was nowhere near what you gave up. Okay? I think one of the most important things Dallas did this year was keeping Dan Quinn and being able to keep the defensive coordinator on that football team. I think Dan Quinn's done a nice job of putting guys in position where the year before Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator, could not. And they were just getting run all over last year. And Dan Quinn has done a nice job. Dan Quinn did a decent job when he was in Atlanta, getting that team to a Super Bowl, building that defense up. And he did a great job when he was up in Seattle with Pete Carroll. He's definitely a defensive-minded guy, and I think he's going to get an opportunity to coach somewhere again, maybe in this coming season here. So keeping Dan Quinn in the building was important for Dallas. Basically got two head football coaches sitting in Valley Ranch right now, which will help Dallas as they go through this upcoming 2022 season. The offense averaged 401.4 yards per game, 401 yard per game. Number one in the NFL. They averaged 30.4 points per game. Dallas had it going on offensively last year. 400 yards in total offense. An offense puts on your ass every Sunday and 30 points. Most of the time, you're going to have to get into a shootout with Dallas. Dak Prescott's numbers. 4,449, 37 touchdowns and 10 picks. Exceptional. Exceptional numbers. Dak had a great year. Zeke was a tick over 1,000, I think 1,002. 4.2, but here's your problem. I'm paying him money, and Tony Pollard's rushing at 5.5 yards per carry, making $850,000 a year, where Zeke's making $435,000 a game. Dallas has a salary cap issue and a salary issue there at that position. You got to play Zeke because of the money, but then you look at Tony Pollard. He's more productive. Tony Pollard and Miles Sanders are a lot alike. Okay? They're a lot alike. So, I mean, look, I think this football team, you're going to see most of the time offensively, you're going to see Dallas in 11 or 12 personnel. And I think this football team has an opportunity at winning a lot of games again. I still question what happened on defense. CeeDee Lamb, 79 catches, 1102 for 6 touchdowns. They got a decent tight end. I think offensively, I think the Dallas Cowboys they're going to put up the same kind of points they did a year ago. Toilet says garbage time stats. They did go 12-5 last year. And they destroyed the Eagles, though. Hey, Toilet, they destroyed the Eagles. Destroyed them. Okay? I mean, it was never close. The Monday night game was embarrassing. Okay? So, I mean, the Cowboys this year, in my opinion, okay, offensively, Dak with 4,449, 37 touchdowns, 10 picks. You're going to see them most of the time in 11 to 12 personnel. They've got wideouts. We'll see what CeeDee Lamb does. They lost guys in the O-line. It's older. Ezekiel Elliott is not the same guy. And that's one of the reasons why, in my opinion, when you're talking about the Cowboys in the red zone and you're talking about the Cowboys with a 2-minute drive, one of the reasons why they can't sustain it, because they're not getting the production in the running game that they did 3 years ago. When you get production in the running game, play action pass is there for all these guys.